Good morning, guys. Welcome to the session. Hope you're ready for the session Monday morning. Let us start the session with a nice quote. It is all about nothing to do with your preparation, but at this juncture, it is important. Happiness will never come to those who don't appreciate what they have. Happiness will never come to those who don't appreciate what they have. You should always be happy with what you have. It doesn't mean that you have to stop there. Be happy with what you have. At the same time, try for something that is better. A very useful quote. Now let us see what is there to get enriched or what is there to learn from today's session. Not very important words when it comes to vocabulary. The first word, tapping. I will not talk about the meanings. The next slide, I'm going to spend a few minutes on the different dimensions. Tapping, resolve, chart, path, aggressive, align, sustainability, an important word, deploying, innovatively, aesthetic. The last word is also an important word. Now, many questions are based on words, sentences, idioms, phrasal verbs, and also context-based questions I have brought. And today you're going to recollect 5 idioms and consolidate. What are the 5 idioms? Achilles heel, an important one. Black leg, also important. Cut the Gordian knot. They have given so many times in different competitive exams. Do away with, not difficult to make out. Eye opener, not difficult to make out. And today you're going to work on spot the errors. 6 questions from the newspaper and 4 questions from previous year's papers, actual questions. Close test with actual exam pattern, blank and 3 options. The 4th option, none of these. When it comes to the editorial, today's editorial is all about solar power. This is an important topic from the descriptive paper point of view, and they may ask you to write about the potential of solar power, one thing. At the same time, the related topic, renewable sources of energy. Today we talk about energy sources. We use 2 expressions. One is conventional sources of energy or non-conventional sources of energy. And what is the other one? Renewable sources of energy or non-renewable sources of energy. And it is not advisable to depend on conventional sources or non-renewable. It is better to depend on non-conventional sources of energy or renewable sources of energy. And one of the energies that comes under renewable sources of energy, that is solar power, an important topic from the descriptive paper point of view. Now let us go to the 10 words from today's editorial. What is the first word here? Tapping. But if you take the word tap, the word tap has many meanings. One meaning as a noun. As a noun it has 2 or 3 meanings. One meaning, the one you have in the washroom, the tap. You open the tap, you close the tap. Another meaning as a noun, tap means to touch someone on the shoulder, on the back, not heavily, slightly. You touch someone, you pat. You could also think of the word pat or tap someone. But as a verb, it has a different connotation altogether. Tapping, tap the resources. And what is a typical combination? Tap the resources. A typical combination. It means make use of the resources. That is one meaning. Another meaning, exploit the resources. But the word exploit has got 2 different meanings. It could be a positive connotation. It could be a negative connotation. Exploit the resources. Exploit the person. When we say exploit the resources, it has a positive connotation. Tap the resources. Make use of the resources. But when we say exploit the person, it has a negative connotation. So here, tap the resources, it has a positive connotation. It means what? Make use of the resources. Resolve. Generally, we use the word, this particular form, as a verb. Resolve the issues, resolve the problems. Means what? Sort out the problems. But resolve could be a noun, could be a verb in the same form. As a noun, usually we resort to the form resolution. New Year resolutions. But resolve could also be a noun. The Prime Minister's resolve means what? A firm determination, a firm decision. Resolve, resolution both mean the same. It is easy to make out the word resolution, but resolve usually we think it's a verb, but do remember, it could be a verb, it could be a noun. Chart, this goes with, it has many meanings. As a noun, chart, chart paper, chart, you all know that, it goes with stationery. As a verb, chartered flight, chart a particular path, go in a particular direction. It also means plan something, plan of action, chart, an important word. Path, an easy word. Path means a way or something that shows a direction. You're going the right path means what? You're going in the right direction. Aggressive. Aggressive, again, part of speech adjective. It has a positive connotation as well as a negative connotation. Generally speaking, it has a negative connotation. Aggressive, and usually it goes with dogs, animals. If you take dogs, pet dogs, some dogs are very aggressive. We say don't go near that dog, it is very aggressive. Aggressive dog means what? Ready to attack. There it has a negative connotation. Aggressive crowd, aggressive people, negative connotation. But it also goes with business context. When it comes to business context, it has a positive connotation. Aggressive marketing and aggressive policy in this context. Today's editorial, it has been used as aggressive policy. Means what? Firmly determined to succeed. You want to do anything to get success, then you take a particular strategy or an approach, and that approach is called aggressive approach. And when it comes to competitive exams, when it comes to learning, you got to be an aggressive learner, and you got to be aggressive in your approach towards any competitive exam. An important word that way. Align, you all know that it goes with alignment. When it comes to design, I place something straight next to this straight line, then I use the word try to align this next to that. That means what? Placing next to something in the right form. But align also means to support, to give support. Align something, align someone. Alignment towards a particular group means support to a particular group. Sustainable, an important word. Nowadays, we talk about, everyone talks about environmental degradation. A lot of problems associated with environment. And when we talk about pollution, we talk about deforestation, we talk about extinction of species, a lot of problems associated with environmental degradation. What is the solution? When we talk about the solution, we talk about sustainable practices, sustainability. Sustainable practices means you use the resources, but you don't exploit the resources, negatively speaking. You use the resources thinking of the future generations. You use the resources in a wise manner. Then we use the expression sustainable practices. That is one meaning. Another meaning of sustain. If you take the word sustain as a verb, sustain someone's interest, that means what? To hold for a long time. He could not sustain their interest for more than 30 minutes. Means what? After 30 minutes, they lost interest in his speech. The next word we have got many a time. It is a verb, deploy. Deploy the police, deploy the armed forces, deploy the soldiers, deploy the army. Typical combinations means what? Place in position. Whenever there is a chaotic situation, whenever there is chaos, or whenever there are clashes between two different groups, and there is a lot of disturbance, turmoil in a particular place, immediately the government deploys the police or the armed forces. They take position so that any situation they are ready to handle. An important word. But this word also goes with deploy the resources, deploy the manpower, deploy the equipment, deploy the police. Different combinations are possible. Innovate, an important word. Innovation is always important for progress. Inevitable, when we talk about progress, what is inevitable? Innovate, we have to innovate, only then we can think of progress. So innovative approach means what? Using new ideas, new methods, and also being creative. Aesthetic, an important word. This goes with aesthetics means the world of beauty. Anything related to beauty, we use the word aesthetic. The world of aesthetics, paintings, sculptures, Anything that is beautiful goes with beauty. We use the word aesthetics, an important word. Now let us go to the editorial and see what is there to learn. Let us start with the question, what is this about? It is all about renewable source of energy. One of the sources of renewable sources of energy, which one is that? Solar power. And this editorial is all about solar power strategy. What should be the strategy when it comes to solar power, and what is a broad framework? It starts with PM's, the Prime Minister's resolution or resolve. Here it is a noun, PM's resolve, and it also talks about the restatement of that particular resolution at in a particular meeting. It talks about restatement or reiterating of that particular resolution. Then it talks about the idea. The editorial says this idea of focusing on solar energy is not something new. And one particular idiom has been used, an important one, I'll show you later. Then to substantiate that, the editorial provides information, substantiation. Then it talks about the policy towards solar power or solar energy. Then it gives an example of Chinese example, how they could reach the present state. Then it also talks about an opportunity. At this juncture, in the present scenario, India has an opportunity, and this is the ideal time. And it also talks about the leadership role played by India some time back, and keeping that in mind, it has to be aggressive when it comes to achieving the goals. And for that, what are the requirements? Editorial talks about the requirements, and finally conclusion regarding the strategy. What should be the strategy? This is a broad framework. Now let us see how it starts. Shore power. What is this power? Solar power. And shore, it is for sure, it is going to place India at a different this thing on India's solar strategy. Shore power on India's solar strategy. Here, solar strategy, you should understand. Solar power strategy, solar energy strategy. So shore power, what is sure? When it comes to power, we can be sure of one thing, one source rather. Which source is that? Solar energy, or source from the sun. Shore power on India's solar strategy. And what is the main idea? What is the purpose in writing this particular editorial? India's solar strategy should look at tapping the best globally to make locally. India's solar strategy should look at tapping the best globally to make locally. So we have to look at tapping the best. Means what? To make use of the best. As I said, this has many meanings. In this context, tap means to make use of. So the main idea, India's solar energy strategy should look at tapping the best globally, making use of the best globally to make locally indigenous production. Then it starts with the PM's resolve, the Prime Minister's resolve. What is that resolve or resolution? Prime Minister Narendra Modi's stated resolve to tap the energy of the sun to substantially power the economy and everyday life is to be welcomed because it could help chart a green deal for the future. The editorial says the Prime Minister's resolution, what is this resolution? To tap the energy of the sun, to substantially power the economy, that is one thing, and everyday life is to be welcomed. We have to appreciate, we have to welcome that particular resolution. Why? Because it could help. It could help, talks about a possibility. It could help chart, means plan something, go in a particular direction, chart a green deal for the future. It may chalk out a green deal for the future. Based on that, we should welcome the Prime Minister's decision or resolution. And now the editorial talks about what happened last week in Madhya Pradesh, and it is nothing but the Prime Minister's resolution and restatement of that particular resolve or resolution. He restated the case for greater reliance on solar power for energy and as a path for self-reliant industrialization at the inauguration of the 750 megawatt photovoltaic project at Rewa in Madhya Pradesh last week. He restated the case for greater reliance on solar power, reiterated, emphasized the case for greater reliance on solar power for energy and as a path for self-reliant industrialization. There are two dimensions here. Why did he reiterate one for energy as a source of energy, and the second dimension as a path? Path means way. As a path for self-reliant industrialization at the inauguration of a 750 megawatt photovoltaic project at Rewa in Madhya Pradesh last week. Then the editorial says this is not a new idea. Based on this idiomatic expression, long in the tooth means old, very old, too old to do something, one meaning. Another meaning, very old. So the editorial says this idea of focusing on solar energy is not a new idea. It has been there for quite some time. And to substantiate that, it provides the information. So what is this idea? Why is it considered long in the tooth? But it's contrasting information. But as he would recognize, the idea of building a domestic solar manufacturing industry that delivers increasing volumes of quality photovoltaic cells, modules, and associated equipment is long in the tooth. So here it talks about the idea. What is this idea? But as he would recognize, the idea of building a domestic solar manufacturing industry that delivers increasing volumes of quality photovoltaic cells, modules, and associated equipment is long in the tooth. Means it's an old idea. To substantiate that it is an old idea, the editorial provides information. What is that substantiation? India's installed base of this green power source is about 35 gigawatts GW, and its projected addition of capacity until 2024 in a COVID-19 affected future is estimated by the industry to be of the order of 50 gigawatts. It talks about present India's installed base of this green power source is about 35 gigawatts, and its projected addition of capacity until 2024 in a COVID-19 affected future is estimated by the industry to be of the order of 50 gigawatts. But there is some sort of disturbance. What is it? Viewed against the goals set 5 years ago, for the Paris Agreement on Climate of installing 100 gigawatts of solar power by 2022, there could be a sharp deficit. 5 years ago, they set the goals, 100 gigawatt of solar power by 2022. Viewed against the goals set 5 years ago for the Paris Agreement on Climate of installing 100 gigawatt of solar power by 2022, there could be a sharp deficit. Definitely. As of now, what is it? 35 gigawatts. And in the scenario of this COVID-19 affected future, it could be, how much is it? 50 gigawatts. But 5 years ago, they set the goals, 100 gigawatt. Obviously, you can make out there could be a sharp deficit. Now it talks about the policy. Combined with low domestic cell manufacturing capacity at 3.1 gigawatt last year and heavy reliance on China, high ambition must now be supported by aggressive official policy. Now the editorial talks about what should be the policy and why should the policy should be aggressive. Combined with low domestic cell manufacturing capacity at 3.1 gigawatt last year, that is not substantial, and heavy reliance on China, high ambition, not ordinary, but high ambition must now be supported by aggressive official policy. There is one word here, aggressive. Firm determination to succeed, doing something intentionally, deliberately to achieve success. In that context, we use the word aggressive. Then the editorial provides the Chinese example in detail. The Chinese story is one of a steady rise from insignificant manufacturing capability in the 1990s. In 1990s, China was nowhere on the global map when it comes to solar power. Insignificant manufacturing capability means what? Not at all. Significant, important. Insignificant, opposite. The Chinese story is one of a steady rise from insignificant manufacturing capability in the 1990s to virtual dominance, insignificant to virtual dominance through active government support in identifying and acquiring top technologies globally. That's what the editorial says. We have to tap globally to make locally. So here it talks about the same policy, Chinese strategy. The Chinese story is one of a steady rise from insignificant manufacturing capability in the 1990s to virtual dominance through active government support in identifying and acquiring top technologies globally, importing critical raw materials such as polysilicon, acquiring solar manufacturers abroad, and investing in third countries with ready capability. All these strategies they used to reach that particular position, the present position. Importantly, at the same time, they did not ignore the domestic market. Importantly, the domestic market was treated with great importance while promoting exports. So this is the point, important aspect. Now editorial talks about the opportunity India has. The pandemic presents a critical opportunity for India to plan a Green Deal on the lines of what the EU, European Union, has committed itself to. What is that? That future growth and employment should align itself to environmental and sustainability objectives, particularly in energy production, away from dirty fuels such as coal. This talks about an opportunity. What is that opportunity and how we have to grab that opportunity? The pandemic presents a critical opportunity for India to plan a Green Deal on the lines of what the European Union has committed itself to. That future growth and employment should align itself to environmental and sustainability objectives. The future depends on sustainable practices. That's an open secret. Everyone knows that. And whatever the government wants to achieve, it has to align itself to environmental and sustainability objectives. Any country for that matter, any government for that matter, particularly in energy production, away from dirty fuels such as coal, especially when it comes to energy sector or energy production. What is the reason? Traditionally, conventionally, across the world, many countries today also, they have been depending on conventional sources of energy or non-renewable sources of energy. They are nothing but the fossil fuels, coal and other things, fossil fuels. But they're not good for the environment. Because of that, and they're very expensive. Because of that, today we talk a lot about environmental, talk a lot about sustainable practices. When it comes to sustainable practices, we have to talk about non-conventional energy sources or renewable energy sources. What are renewable energy sources? Solar energy and water. Water also renewable, it comes under renewable sources of energy. Wind energy, another important source. Tidal energy, renewable source. Wind energy, renewable source. Solar energy also, renewable source of energy. That too, India being a tropical country, we have so much sunlight, we receive so much sunlight. There's no dearth of sunlight in our country. So definitely India has to tap that particular resource. Now the editorial says this is the ideal time. This is the right time. There is no better time than now to make solar energy a strategic sector, giving it as much importance as defense. Strategic has got two different meanings. One of the meanings, strategy means what? Important, strategy, plan. Another meaning related to defense. Here editorial says there is no better time than now to make solar energy a strategic sector, an important sector, giving it as much importance as defense. Defense also an important sector. We should give the same importance to this particular sector. Renewable sources of energy, especially solar energy. As the architect of the International Solar Alliance, which attracted about 120 nations at its launch, India needs to show leadership to advance the manufacture and absorption of solar photovoltaic infrastructure in low and middle income countries. This is an important point. Leadership, it talks about India's leadership. As the architect, as the one who designed, architect of the International Solar Alliance, which attracted about 120 nations at its launch, India needs to show leadership to advance, to promote the manufacture and absorption of solar photovoltaic infrastructure in low and middle income countries. What are the requirements for that? Now editorial talks about the requirements. The key requirements are integrated policies fully supported by states. Integrated, combined policies, fully supported by states. Industry must get help to set up facilities and avail low-cost financing, both important elements in China's rise, and be able to invest in intellectual property. Intellectual property, today we talk about IP, an important concept, and we will talk about IPR, means what? Intellectual property rights. Now, still the same idea, what is it? Requirements. A forward-looking program should also look at emerging trends in deploying solar innovatively. A forward-looking program, looking at the future, thinking futuristic in a futuristic manner, a forward-looking program should also look at emerging trends in deploying solar innovatively. Here solar means solar power. In deploying solar power innovatively, deploy, place in position, and innovatively, thinking of new ideas, using new ideas, new methods, and also being creative. These include, what are these innovative approaches or strategies? These include new technologies or newer technologies such as aesthetic photovoltaic window and roof tiles for buildings. Aesthetic means related to beauty. Multi-role urban structures and greater use of residential and commercial buildings to deploy more panels. All these are requirements, and how does it conclude? Rapid progress requires a strategic shift to aid competitive domestic manufacturing. Rapid progress requires something. What does it require? A strategic shift to aid, to help competitive domestic manufacturing. Again, it comes down to the same idea initially stated at the time of when the writer started the editorial, the main idea, you have to tap globally to make locally. So it talks about indigenous production, that is very important, make locally. Domestic manufacturing. That's all about the editorial. Now let us go to, looks like it has taken a lot of time today, 8:26. Vocabulary, 10 words not that difficult. Tapping, in this context, make use of something, and especially make use of resources. Resolve, firm determination, but generally for this idea we use the word resolution. Resolution, noun form. Resolve, in this context, noun form, but resolve usually used as a verb. Resolve the problem means what? Find a solution for the problem. Chart, to arrange a plan of action. Chart a green path means what? A plan to go in that particular direction. And you all know charted flight, chart a new course, go in a new direction. Path, a way, easy word. Aggressive, one meaning of aggressive, ready to attack. But that doesn't go with this context. In this context, what is the meaning of the word aggressive? Determined to succeed. Succeed, not succeeded, succeed. Align, give support to. One of the meanings. Sustainability, an important word. Avoidance of the depletion of resources. You avoid the depletion of resources, especially natural resources. Then we use the word sustainability, and we also use the expression sustainable practices. Deploy, deploying, moving into position. Innovatively, creatively, or using new methods or new ideas. Aesthetic, an important word, concerned with beauty. Now, what are the important phrases and what goes with effective English? What is there to learn? At tapping the best globally to make locally. You have to tap the best resources, best intellectual property, best brains globally. What is the idea behind to make locally? For indigenous production, indigenous manufacturing. So remember the expression tapping, tap the resources, tap the best globally to make locally. An important expression. Something has to be welcomed or is to be welcomed. Means what? We have to appreciate that. We have to accept that. We have to appreciate that. Because, why? What is the reason? It could help chart a green deal for the future. It could help chart, plan a green deal for the future. But you may ask, sir, what is this could here? Could has many functions. One of the functions of the helping verb could, it talks about a possibility, but chances are less. Chances are less, we use might or could or should. Chances are more, we use may. So here, because future, we never know what is going to happen, the writer must have thought it could help, possibility, but chances are less. It's something is long in the tooth. Long in the tooth is an idiomatic expression. What does it mean? Very old. It is not a new idea. Depending on renewable sources of energy. I think they started talking about, Indian government started talking about renewable sources of energy way back in 1980s, I remember. They started talking about renewable sources of energy or non-conventional sources of energy. Solar power, wind power, all these, tidal power. And France is the number one when it comes to tidal power, tidal energy. France has gone to a different level altogether. And wind energy, now I think they have started in our country for quite some time. They have been focusing on solar energy and wind energy. Long in the tooth, not a new idea, old, something that is old. Another meaning of long in the tooth, too old to do something. Remember the second meaning as well. There could be a sharp deficit. Again, possibility, chances are less, a sharp deficit. Today we talk about the budget. A typical expression, we use the expression deficit budget. Your expenses are, imagine, 100 rupees and you have only 50. Then this is what we call deficit budget. Requirement 100, but you have only 50. There's a deficit of 50. Sharp deficit. You all must be knowing that the next one must now be supported by aggressive official policy. I want you guys to remember these expressions. These are very useful and important when it comes to the descriptive paper. Aggressive official policy, aggressive government policy, aggressive foreign policy. Remember these, try to substitute all the time. That will help in the long run. Must is a helping verb, must be supported. It is in passive voice. So what is the function? What are the functions? It has got two uses, the helping verb must. One, it is used to express a personal obligation, an obligation imposed by the speaker, here the writer. Another meaning or another function, not meaning, function of the helping verb must. It is used to convey the idea that something is compulsory. Something is what? Compulsory. The domestic market was treated with great importance while promoting exports. The domestic market, usually expressions, international market, domestic market. The domestic market was treated, passive voice, past tense, with great importance, with utmost importance, with great care, with great importance. Remember that phrase, while promoting exports. Future growth and employment should align itself. This is a bit surprising. Here we have two expressions. One is future growth and the other one, employment. I don't understand why the writer has used future growth and employment should align itself. We should not use a singular pronoun here, but it has been used. The reason could be, sometimes in English, we consider two nouns, one idea, a single concept. In that context, we use a singular verb or a singular pronoun. Otherwise, future growth and employment should. So basically here one idea, future growth and employment should align itself to environmental and sustainability objectives. Definitely, beyond any doubt. Always remember objectives, sustainable objectives, sustainability objectives, environmental objectives, important expressions. There is no better time, means what? This is the best time. There is no better time than now to make. There is no better time than now. Remember that expression? There is no better time than now to make something, to do something. Now, what are the questions based on the editorial? What is this editorial about? I would like to caution you guys, this is a time you have to write about the editorial. You may ask, sir, why? Tentative date, the exam, I think September. We have 3 months, September, October, November. Let us take October. mains point of view, you have to write an essay. We don't know, some notification, SBI PO, and tentative dates. Let us start with September, October, November, and let us take to December. This is the right time for you guys to focus on writing skill, especially essay point of view and letter writing point of view. If you neglect at this stage, at this juncture, after some time you'll be under tremendous pressure. Once the notifications come out and the dates approach very fast, you have to focus on so many things. You cannot work on your writing skill. You cannot focus a lot on that particular skill. In my opinion, this is the right time. You should start now, and slowly you will go in the right direction. And 1 or 2 months, you write about the editorial in brief in your own sentences. I'm sure you will get that writing skill, the expertise, and you can definitely score good marks in the descriptive paper. As I say, that makes all the difference. So what is this editorial about? Write at least 5 or 6 sentences, at least 2 or 3 sentences, but don't take it for granted. Don't tell yourself, I know I can write, I will write later. Don't do that. At this stage, not advisable. What is considered long in the tooth in the context of the editorial? What is considered long in the tooth? What is considered an old idea in the context of the editorial? This is an idiomatic expression. What presents a critical opportunity for India to plan a Green Deal? Based on the keywords, I would like to suggest, please write the answers as well. That will help in the long run. While writing, you understand, sometimes you get stuck. You may not get the right word. You may not get the right sentence pattern. When you start writing, only then you realize what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses when it comes to writing. And slowly you will be able to, and you will understand and realize the gaps you have. You can write something, but at the same time you get stuck. There's some gap. And slowly you get exposed to the gaps, and you fill the gaps, then you're ready for the descriptive paper. What presents a critical opportunity for India to plan a Green Deal? What are the key requirements to achieve the goals? Key requirements to achieve the goals. Based on the keywords, you can write the answer. Which country is the architect of International Solar Alliance? Again, based on the key words, you can write. Here, when you write the answer, try to write the answer, complete sentence, and make sure it is grammatically correct. Which country is the architect? Now, it's quite obvious, it's an easy question. India is the architect. So how do you write? So don't simply write India, that doesn't serve any purpose. Which country is the architect of International Solar Alliance? Don't write India, that is of no use, sheer waste of time. India is the architect of international, write the complete sentence. Again, what are the key requirements to achieve the goals? The key requirements to achieve the goals are, then you list out. That will help you in the long run. You get clarity. When you write, there's a popular saying, what is it? Writing results in clarity of thought. When you write something, write down your ideas, then your thinking becomes crystal clear. When your thinking is crystal clear, you can speak in a crystal clear manner. So writing is a very useful tool. You should make it a habit at this juncture. And I would like to caution you guys, at this juncture, you neglect writing skill. Later, though you wish to, you will not be able to spend time, because other areas you have to focus on, and you'll be under tremendous pressure. You may not have this much free time. You may not have a lot of free time to focus on the writing skill. Now let us go to grammar rule. Congratulations. I will say this in the near future once you guys get selected, waiting for that day eagerly. But I will not say congratulations for your success. That is not correct. I will say congratulations on your success. This goes with the prepositional combinations. It comes under grammar rules related to prepositions, but it also goes with common errors. A lot of people say congratulations for your success, which is not at all correct. We have to say the word congratulations takes the preposition on. Congratulations on your success. This has been given in so many exams. Now it is time for you guys to respond. Have a look at the words, write the part of speech, then write the meaning. Why do you want, Vijay, why do you want them to write that? Has anyone said about this? I'm getting sleep while listening this class. Very good. You better sleep, Ramesh. Don't be here. You go sleep. Absolutely no problem. I appreciate that. This session is only for those who want to enrich their knowledge, their language proficiency. Thank you very much, Shivkumar. This is what, it all depends on your attitude. Some students may find this quite interesting. A lot of students find this quite interesting. And one or two students may find this boring. Rather, one student, Ramesh, I don't know, I think the first comment itself, first posting, I am getting sleep. So what I suggest, you find it boring, leave the platform. You get sleep, better you sleep, absolutely no problem. We don't have any problem as such. And those, there are more than 350 students who wait eagerly and they want to enrich. They know the importance of this and they're all quite interested. I focus on those students, absolutely no problem. When it comes to my accent as well, a lot of students say they appreciate the accent. Some people, they think I speak differently because they don't know how English is spoken. What is standard accent? That is a problem. We don't care all these things. They don't, I don't mind just reading out and I keep them aside. And what is the answer for the first one? Tap. Tap could be a noun, could be a verb. Tap, noun, verb. What does it mean? In this context, it is a verb. Means what? Make use of something. D is the answer. D is the answer. Anything wrong? No messages? What is the second one? How come no response, no messages, no post? What is the answer for the second one? I don't see your messages. How come? Now I see. What is the second one? Second one is also, it could be a noun, it could be a verb. In the context of the editorial, it is a noun. What does it mean? Firm determination. F is the answer. That's right. Yes, now I see. I thought it got stuck. Now I can make out. Please go to the third one. What is the third one? Some students have gone to the seventh one. Sixth, seventh. Oh, short. Short part of speech, verb. It could also be a noun. What does it mean? A plan of action, to arrange a plan of action. I is the answer. Excuse me. What is the fourth one? Path. Path, obviously, a noun. What does it mean? A way. Path, a way. And the fourth is over. Fifth, aggressive part of speech, adjective. What is the answer for the fifth one? Now I think you guys, fourth one is over. Fifth one, H. What is H? Determined to succeed. Succeed. Answer is H. Absolutely right. Go to the sixth one, align. Alignment, noun form, align verb. What does it mean? In this context, C is the answer. Give support to. C is the answer. Go to the seventh one. Seven, sustainability. Adjective. It could also be a noun, sustainability. It could also be a noun, but in the context of the editorial, it has been used as an adjective, sustainability goals. So what does it mean? Avoidance of depletion of the resources. Depletion of the resources. Deploy. Deploy is a verb. Deploying. Deployment is a noun form. What is a noun form of this? Deployment. But deploy is a verb. So what does it mean? Eighth one, B. Moving into position. Deploying, moving into position. B. Yes, what is the ninth one? Innovatively. Innovatively, adverb, not adjective, adverb. Do something innovatively, adverb. Innovative ideas, that is adjective. Thank you, Shiv Kumar. You're always there to post nice stuff, encouraging and motivating. That's really good. What is the answer? Innovatively. Creatively. Creatively, that's right. And what is the last one? Aesthetic, an important word. The world of aesthetics. Part of speech, aesthetic world. Adjective. What are you left with? Concerned with beauty. Concerned with beauty. Now today's important word, aesthetic, beautiful, artistic, elegant, exquisite, attractive, sophisticated. All these words could be used. Thank you. Who is this? Rama Rao. Thank you very much. Now let us go to the spot the errors question, but please listen carefully. There are 10 questions. The first 6 questions, 1 to 6, based on the newspaper English, yesterday's newspaper, and the last 4 questions from previous year's papers, actual questions given in different exams. So first 6 questions, 1 set, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1 set from previous year's papers. Let us start. Have a look at sentence number 1, spot the errors. Tell me where the error is. Sunday, as of now, not possible. I have a very tight schedule, hard pressed for time. Maybe in future, I will definitely consider. Here, the Assam keelback snake has been sighted by a team from the Wildlife Institute of India, Dehradun, for the first time from 1869. Here we cannot use has been sighted. Which tense is this? Present perfect tense, but not active voice, passive voice. Has been sighted. A team has sighted keelback snake. Keelback snake has been sighted by a team. So it is in present perfect passive voice, but here 1869 specific time. And also present perfect and present perfect continuous, they take 2 prepositions. One specific time we use the preposition since, and the other one, time period, we use for. So from is not correct, since is correct. A lot of students have got it right, very good. Go to sentence number 2. Please answer, have a look at sentence number 2. Yes, Swarna Rekha has got it right. Let others also respond. Yes, Manasa has got it right. Malyaji has got it right. I think a lot of students, Shalini, Rajshekhar, all these. Rajshekhar added, no. He adds that the spectral differences between healthy vegetation and burnt forest areas can easily be identified. Can be identified. Here, we can identify something. Something can be identified by us. Because of the word easily, it becomes a little difficult. The sentence is in passive voice. We can identify something. Something can be identified by us. So what is missing here? Can be identified. Be identified. You can do the work. You can do the work. The work can be done. The work can be done by you. Here, can be done. The same way, can be identified. Please remember passive voice. Go to sentence number 3. Please go to the next sentence. Yes, the work can be done by you. That's right. The number has been going up. Because of that, we should be prepared. All sorts of comments, all sorts of postings, we may come across quite often. We have to just ignore. On an average, what is that? No. Ravi says, second sentence, what is the other error? Let us check. What is that second error? Excuse me. Yes, who is that? Ravi. He adds that the spectral differences between healthy vegetation and burnt forest areas can be identified and highlighted by remote sensing burn indices. There is only one error here, Ravi. I don't know on what basis you say sentence number 2, there is one more. There is only one error. I will tell you why. Here it is in present tense. He adds that. I don't know what exactly made you say that. If you say, sir, it should be in could, not correct, because here the reporting verb is in present, then the tenses don't change to a corresponding past tense. He adds that the spectral differences between. He is talking about two things. One is healthy vegetation, the other one burnt forest areas. 2, we use preposition between, nothing wrong with that. And can be identified. Helping verb in passive voice, nothing wrong with that. And here, same helping verb we don't have to mention. What exactly does it mean? Can be identified, can be highlighted. Can be highlighted because it takes the same verb, same expression. Here we don't mention. Can be identified and can be highlighted, nothing wrong with this. By what? Remote sensing burn indices. Index singular, indices plural. Nothing wrong with the sentence. Only one error is there. What is that? It is B is missing. I hope you got it. I don't remember that. I think Ravi Chaitanya. I hope it's clear. Fine. No. 1 to 6 from the newspaper, I brought the sentences. I said 7, 8, 9, 10. Only one error. All the 10 questions, only one error. But 7, 8, 9, 10, the questions are from previous year's papers. Actual questions given in different competitive exams. Now let us go to, have you guys answered? Yes, very good. Who is this? Bharat has got it right. I've just spotted. It doesn't mean that some more students must have got it right. Here, iconic historical monuments in Delhi that used to see between 5,000 and 10,000 visitors every day received well under 100 visitors on average this week. The clue for you this week. Please listen very carefully. This is not that easy. If you come across a time phrase that indicates an incomplete time period, I repeat, any time phrase that indicates an incomplete time period, then we should use present perfect tense. For example, today. Is today complete? Incomplete. This week just started. Incomplete. When we use incomplete time phrases that indicate incomplete time period, we have to use present perfect tense. Here, received, not correct. Iconic historical monuments, all this not important. Received well under 100 visitors on average this week. Received is not correct. It should be have received. What is missing here? Have received. That is a correct expression. Not has. What is the reason? Monuments. Monuments, plural. You have to say have received. The next one, I think a few students have answered sentence number 4 and they have got it right. What is it? Her journey. It is about a potter, a lady. Her journey saw the genesis, an important word. Genesis means what? A beginning of something. An important word, do remember. Genesis of a silent yet robust modernist potter who was in home, in the contemporary world, present world, and comfortable in her own skin, sharing secrets as she went along. A very nice sentence, nice expressions are there. But who was in home, it should be at home. At home, be at home, feel at home. Means what? You all must be knowing. Comfortable. At home means what? Comfortable. What is this? Have been received. No, monuments have received. Monuments receive. You cannot use it in passive voice. Who is that? Santosh. You cannot use passive voice. Here you have to use sentence number 3. It should be in active voice, not in passive voice. So sentence number 4, at home means what? Be comfortable. At home means comfortable. Please go to sentence number 5. It's already 8:57. Oh. What is the third one? Iconic historical monuments. Forget about all these words. Iconic historical monuments have received well under 100 visitors on average this week. You may ask, sir, why not this one? Why should we change it from past tense to present perfect? Why should we add the helping verb have? When you add the helping verb have, it changes to present perfect tense. The reason for that, there's a time phrase here. What is a time phrase? This week. This is not complete. Whenever you find a time phrase that indicate incomplete time period, then you have to use present perfect, not past tense. I saw the manager today, not correct. I have seen the manager today. What is the reason? Today is incomplete. Then you cannot use past tense, you have to use present perfect. I hope it is clear. Now let us go to sentence number 5. We are running out of time. International students worried about please go to sentence number 5. What is this 5,000 and 1,000, Uday Kumar? Between 5,000 and 1,000, 10,000. What do you mean by that? What is there to explain? It talks about two different numbers, 5,000 and 10,000, because two numbers, the preposition between. To see between 5,000 and 10,000 visitors. The range, it talks about the range. Now I have just answered. Please go to sentence number 5. Should not be that difficult. I don't see the responses. Sentence number 5. Yes, only one student, 2 or 3 students, I'm sorry. Here, They feel stuck between two things. One, being unnecessarily exposed during the COVID-19 pandemic, and being able to. Here it should be being able to. Being unnecessarily exposed, being able to finish. It is parallel expression. We cannot say be able to. We should say being able to. Being able to. Go to sentence number 6. Yes, being able to, that is correct. Please go to sentence number 6 quickly. We are running out of time. Parallel expression, that's right. What is the answer for the 6th one? Very long, that's right. In the exam, you will come across lengthy sentences, and when you practice these, there it will be easy for you guys. Sentence number 6. No, there is an error. This is an important one, not that easy. But there is a clue. What is a clue for you? The word now. If you see the word now, do remember you have to use present continuous tense. I have said many a time. Now, at the moment, right now, nowadays, these days, and continuously, we use present continuous tense. Here it is in present continuous passive voice, not active voice. The architectural marvel in Istanbul, which is revered, respected a lot by both Eastern Orthodox traditional Christians and Muslims, is now being turned into a mosque. One word is missing. Which one is that? Being turned. Who are worried, that is understood. Sentence number 5. Who is this? Monica. Here, international students who are worried about, that is understood. International students who are worried about a new immigration policy that could potentially cost them their visas say that. So here it is understood. It is not something wrong. It is understood. Nothing wrong with that expression. That's a good doubt. I appreciate. So sentence number 6, being is missing. It should be in present continuous passive voice. Please go to sentence number. Get being is not correct, Pallavi. Get being, that is not correct. Only being turned into a mosque. Please go to sentence number 7. Being turned, it does not turn, someone has to turn. Is now turning, then active voice. You cannot use it in active voice because someone has to turn the building, that particular structure, into a mosque. So the president is turning the mosque, turning the monument into a mosque. Then you have to use passive voice in present continuous. Here, this is an important one. Some students have got it right. That is really appreciable. The judge. What is missing here? The definite article. I will write here. The judge in her prevailed upon the mother, and within no time she sentenced her son to death. You may ask, sir, why the? If I ask you the question, the word judge. Judge, it is a noun. Which type of noun is it? Common noun. Sometimes in English, please listen very carefully, this is an important one. Sometimes we can use or we use a common noun as an abstract noun. Abstract noun. Common noun is used as an abstract noun. Here, what is a common noun? Judge is a common noun. So please have a look at this. When you use a common noun as an abstract noun, then you have to use a definite article the. Then the word the is missing, the definite article the is missing. The judge. This is an important one. A lot of students cannot answer this. If you have answered, you should be very happy. You should be very happy. Please go to the next one. Sentence number 8. Now 7th, 8th, 9th, 10 actual questions from different competitive exams. While they were passing through the rainforest, they happened to see a number of deers. Not correct. It should be deer, sheep, salmon, trout, cod. T-R-O-U-T. Trout, cod, offspring, and aircraft, spacecraft. All these singular or plural, they're in the same form. The form does not change. So there is no word like deers, it's only deer. Sheep, deer. Land animals, salmon, trout, cod, types of fish. Offspring, an independent word. Aircraft, spacecraft, one group. That way also you can remember. All these, they have the same form, singular or plural. Please go to sentence number 9. Sentence number 9, where is the error? Rain. Through the rain. Yes, of course, through the rain. That means it was raining that time. Nothing wrong with that expression. Please, all of you remember, when I say there is an error here, it means that other words are absolutely right. You don't have to worry about those words. Sentence number 9, where is the error? In an effort to revitalize a stagnant rural economy, the bank has pumped a lot of money into them, hoping that farmers will benefit. Yes. Here it is not them. In an effort to revitalize a stagnant rural economy, economy is third person singular, the bank has pumped a lot of money into them is not correct, into it. Economy, you cannot say them. It should be it, into it. Please go to sentence number 10. That should not be difficult. Rainy forest. We don't say rainy forest, rainforest. Rainforest, when you talk about types of forests, we have different types of forests. Deciduous forests, rainforests. And based on what is the difference, if you take a deciduous forest, the trees shed the leaves periodically. And rainforest, the trees don't shed the leaves. That is one of the differences. We don't use a rainy forest, but we can say a rainy day. A rainy day is correct, the expression. Please go to the last one. What is the error or where is the error? It's already 9:08. I'm worried about the time factor. Here it is not if I was you. It should be if I were you. It talks about a desire, a wish, which is not real. If I were you, I wouldn't sign. But do remember, here whatever the subject, I repeat, whatever the subject, you have to use were, and you should also use the helping verb would. If I were the CM, I would do something. Remember two words, were and would, irrespective of the subject. Now let us go to closed test exam pattern. Urban areas in India are particularly to bear the brunt, that's an important idiomatic expression, to get the worst part of something. That is because why we use here, it is a conditional. This goes with to use simple conditional sentences. It goes with conditional sentences. And if you ask me, sir, how can we make out it is a conditional sentence? In English, we express a condition by using the word if. And this also goes with conditional sentences. It also goes with desires and wishes. When we try to express wishes and desires, then we should use the helping verb to be in the plural form, irrespective of the subject, and again plural form in the past. If I were, usually it is I was, but here, because of this pattern, because it is a conditional sentence which talks about a desire or a wish, we should use were. Imaginary conditionals. That's right. Perfect. Please go to the closed test. What is the first one? Nidhi has already answered. I think a lot of students have answered. Urban areas in India are particularly suffer, grammatically not correct. Are particularly vulnerable would have been correct, but grammar point of view it is not correct. Are particularly prone to bearing the brunt. Bear the brunt, get the hardest part or the worst part of something, bear the brunt. So here prone, likely to get affected. What is the meaning of prone to disease? Means likely to get something. Go to the second blank here. Bearing the brunt of most infectious diseases that one profuse is not correct. No. Prone to is correct. No, profuse is not correct. Here, that propagate in close contact settings. That propagate means that spread. That propagate, here it is a verb. That propagate in close contact settings, not profuse. Profuse is not correct. Answer is, here answer is the third one. Here answer is the second one, propagate. Go to the next blank. Besides, urban areas have the. Urban areas have what? Please go to the next one quickly. Disrepute, that's right. Besides, urban areas have the disrepute. Repute, opposite, disrepute, means what? Bad name. Notorious, also, someone is known to a lot of people, but not popular. People don't like him. Notorious smuggler, notorious gangster. Here, we cannot use the word notorious. We have to use the noun form, disrepute. Popularity cannot go with this context. Context is negative. We cannot use the word popularity. So what is the answer here? Answer is the first one. Now let us go to the next one. The pandemic in the metros is yes, that is the answer here. Is a indirect, grammatically not correct because of a substitute. You can think of that, but exact word proxy. Proxy means what? Representation of someone in the elections. That is one meaning. It also means indirect, something that represents indirectly. Indirect representation. So proxy is the right word. For the what? Devastating, correct. Deleteriously. You cannot use adverb and adverb. Dangerous effects. You can choose this one or this one. Both are right. But which is a better word? When you have to choose between a word, a simple word, and a better word, a word that goes with effective English, always prefer effective English. Devastating. Answer is the first one. Not dangerous. Nothing wrong with the word dangerous, but which is a better word? Devastating is a better word. Always choose a better word. That's what I have been telling. Please go to the last one, I suppose. One more is there. Use of technology could only. What is the answer for the next one? Yes, that's right, Uday Kumar. Better word, devastating effects, making a tremendous negative impact. Thank you very much. Hidden, only hidden, not correct. You need to use a verb because there is a helping verb. Don't consider the word only. You could do the work, you can do the work, you could go there, you can go there. That means you need a verb in the basic form without to. That means what? Bare infinitive. Blocked, grammatically not correct. Hidden, grammatically not correct. Mask. That could mask. Here mask is a verb. Answer is the third one. You have to consider grammar. You have to consider the context. Based on that, you have to select the correct word. Please go to the next one. This turned out to be inadequate as the cases started. Cases started what? It's already 16 past 9. My goodness. I want you guys to answer the last one. Surging, that's right, to save time. Started increasing is also right. Declining, not correct. Contextually, not correct. Between this and this, which is a better word? Surging is a better word. Now let us go to the next one. I don't think today we can spend time on vocabulary consolidation. Please answer these idioms quickly. Yes, surging is a better word. It goes with effective English. That's right. Here, Achilles' heel, an important one. Weak or vulnerable spot in one's nature or character. Answer is D. What is the second one? 2C, black leg. One who continues to work when others are on strike. Very good. That is not easy to recollect. 1D, 2C. What is the third one? Cut the Gordian knot. They are given in so many competitive exams, an important one. Used regularly in the newspapers. Solve a very difficult solution of problem by quick, bold, and drastic action. Absolutely right. Do away with, an easy one, should not be a problem. Something which makes, no, get rid of or dispense with. B, eye-opener. Something which makes one understand a situation or truth clearly. Eye-opener. It goes with everyday English. Has anyone got all the 5 correct? I will give you the choice. It's already 18 past 9. I can wind up the session, or you can work on the last exercise. Say wind up. Shall I continue? Say yes or no. Immediate answer, at least 10 or 15 students. Thank you very much, Shivkumar. I appreciate that. Nice example. Please say yes or no, the last exercise. We'll finish up in 2 minutes, fine. So moratorium, an important word, what does it mean? Moratorium on something. What is the answer for the first one? That's fine. Please look at 1D. Temporary suspension, do remember. No doubt it is suspension, but temporary suspension. Moratorium on something. Moratorium on exports. Temporary suspension. Alacrity, an important word. What is the answer for the second one? No problem, nothing to worry. 2, it is E. What is E? Eagerness, perfect. Alacrity, eagerness, enthusiasm, readiness to do something. And what is the answer for the third one? Contagion. Contagion has many meanings. Here you have to identify not the primary meaning, the secondary meaning. What is that? I want you guys to go to the third one. I, very good, harmful idea. Perfect answer. Now go to the next one, fourth one. What is the answer for the fourth one? H. What is H? Dodgy. Dodge has many meanings, but here dodgy, let us take unreliable. Better you go unreliable. C is the answer. Avoid also is correct, but avoid here we have to use with for another word. Now don't consider H, consider C. Unreliable, dodgy. Dodgy has two different meanings. One is unreliable. The other meaning is something that a person avoids. Dodges means avoid. But here you don't consider H. That goes with another word. What is the meaning of throws? Throws means sorrows. Answer is F. Go to the fifth one. F, yes. Sixth one, elude. Elude, use the word avoid. Success has been eluding him or her. Means what? Avoid. In this context, dodgy, unreliable, and elude, avoid. Elusive. Success has been elusive. Paucity, easy to answer. J, scarcity. Excuse me. And commendable, again you got many a time. Praiseworthy, A is the answer. Worse means what? Sorrows. I think I've already. Throws here, I will change. G, agony. And worse means sorrows. F here. Obviated, B, removed. Please make the correction. This is G and this is F. You have to change. Throws means agony and worse means sorrows. Yes, that's right. You can cross-check, no problem. That's all for today. Glad we could complete all the exercises. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. I will see you tomorrow with another editorial to enrich your language proficiency. Agony means severe pain. A lot of pain, we use agony. Agony could be physical or it could be mental. Mental agony, physical agony. When you don't understand, you cannot follow the session, that results in agony. But that is not physical agony. That is mental agony. But someone has met with an accident, a lot of injuries, then he will experience physical